This week in Sci-Fi, we've got our eye on The Zombies Are Coming as Aussie Sci-Fi hits cinemas this week. The Orville is delayed, but we get a sneak peek. A look ahead to Sci-Fi on the way for 2022. And we look at Ion Sci-Fi Screen Award nominations so far. Welcome to Ion Sci-Fi, I'm Raymond Pedora. Robot comedy Bigbug hits Netflix this week. Set in 2050, the movie follows the adventures of a suburban family that gets taken hostage by their domestic robots. Meanwhile, outside the house, next-generation androids are trying to take over the world. French director Jean-Pierre Jeunet struggled to get the movie into production, and by his own admission, turned to Netflix as a last resort. It looks worth the effort, with a futuristic 50s visual style and a plot that gets quite saucy. Bigbug releases February 11. And Aussie zombie flick Wyrmwood Apocalypse hits cinemas this week. This is a sequel to 2014's Wyrmwood Road of the Dead, which gave a Mad Max twist to the zombie genre. The latest film features a new set of characters and follows Soldier Reese on an arc of redemption as he turns against his evil bosses, joining rebel survivors to help save a little girl's mother. Wyrmwood Apocalypse releases February 10. Apple have given a first look at Season 2 of Foundation, including new characters and cast. No video yet, but it looks like Season 2 will be focused on the next quasi-religious phase of the Foundation's evolution. Although readers of the books should brace themselves for the series to take plenty more artistic license. Bad news for fans of the Orville, with Seth MacFarlane revealing Season 3 has been delayed until June 2nd. A sneak peek has been released in the meantime, which shows a battle in full swing between Union and Krill vessels, and the Kalons. Speculation that this would be the Orville's last season has been fueled by cast interviews, with another season yet to be confirmed by Hulu. Season 3 is slated for release in Australia on SBS. And we're keeping an eye on two new Star Trek series in development. One is called Starfleet Academy, so no prizes for guessing where that will be set, although no word on where in the timeline it will be. Production is expected to start later this year. The other series is Section 31, based on Starfleet's Black Ops division. It's been in development for some time now, originally envisaged as a Discovery spin-off starring Michelle Yeoh, but after extensive delays, there have been rumors it's about to be canned, although Paramount recently denied that. Apple TV Plus has published their original TV lineup for the year, and of 13 new series, 2 are sci-fi. Severance is a workplace thriller that involves employees surgically separating their work and personal memories in the ultimate attempt to achieve a work-life balance. Needless to say, not everything goes to plan. Directed by Ben Stiller, the series has a star-studded cast, including Patricia Arquette, John Turturro and Christopher Walken, along with Aussie actress Deechan Lachman. And you won't have to wait too long. The first 2 episodes are released February 18, with 1 episode a week after that. Also coming is Shining Girls, a metaphysical drama about a journalist who survives a brutal attack only to be stuck in an ever-shifting reality. While there's time travel involved, we're not completely convinced it's sci-fi, but it stars Handmaid's Tale's Elizabeth Moss, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Shining Girls premieres April 18, with 3 episodes, 1 a week after that. Plot details have been published for time-hopping film The Adam Project. Ryan Reynolds plays Adam, who travels back in time from 2050 to search for his lost girlfriend, only to meet his younger self in 2022. Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo join a big-name cast. The Adam Project hits Netflix March 11. This week's category for voting on the Ion Sci-Fi Screen Awards is Best Actor in a Film, and the nominations are Timothée Chalamet for June, Florence Pugh for Black Widow, Tom Hanks for Finch, Nora Anazada for The Colony, Anna Kendrick for Stowaway. You can vote now at ionsci-fi.com. Joining me now to take a closer look at those nominations and the year ahead in sci-fi is Sydney Science Fiction Film Festival Director Simon Foster. Thanks for joining us, Simon.
Oh, it's good to be back, Raymond. I know the last time I was on the show I made a bit of a spectacle of myself, but it's good to be back.
Well, we wouldn't have you back if you didn't. So
it's good to know. Good to know.
So with those nominations for our first ever Ion Sci-Fi Film Awards. What do you think about those 5 nominees?
It's a great bunch of people. It's a fascinating. It reflects a fascinating year in science fiction and a fairly diverse year in science fiction as well. The fact that we've got, I think, 3 lady nominees in there, female actors, as part of the best actor bunch. The wonderful Nora Arnazina is in The Colony, which was a little film that got a small cinema run here in Australia, had a strong festival sort of presence around the world. The Colony by German director Tim Feldbaum, which I think was also called Tides in some territories around the world, is just this wonderful film. And her main performance is a really strong physical performance from a woman that the likes of which you don't see very often. And I thought it was terrific to see in there.
Now, obviously, June is making a splash in terms of the reviews and in terms of the budget that is pulling in. But in terms of awards, how do you think it's kind of shaping up for June?
Well, I mean, it's great to see Timothée Chalamet in our awards. He is just on a roll career-wise that, I mean, the year he's had with The French Dispatch, he's got with the Willy Wonka remake coming up soon. So he's at the forefront of this huge sort of June undertaking. It's got traction with the Hollywood award people, with the voters over there in Hollywood. There was a lot of talk that because it's a science fiction film and science fiction doesn't always sit well with the voters over there, that it was going to sort of fall just into the technical categories and get the special effects and the sound effects awards, and it will win those, I don't doubt, because it's a stunning achievement in that regard. But to see Chalamet rise to the top in our awards and hopefully get some traction overseas, I think it's great. I think it's great for the genre. I think it shows that the faith that Warner Brothers and the smaller studios that helped produce the film had in the film has paid off. It is it sort of it goes beyond the genre boundaries that sometimes sort of keep these movies locked into just, and I hate saying just sci-fi, but that's how very often the industry looks at these films. But no, it's a major work and will feature heavily as the award season sort of keeps rolling along.
Now, another network that's kind of come to the fore is Apple TV Plus, and they've started to really focus on sci-fi. And one of the films that is nominated is Finch with Tom Hanks. So, what did you think of?
I had Finch on my radar for a long time. It's been in the can, as they say, for a couple of years. And I knew that with Caleb Landry doing the robot, he was in motion capture suit and was entirely taken out of the film, but they still use his voice. He was fantastic. And to have Hanks work with a motion capture character and bring out as much emotion as he does in the film, and you've also got the dog in there who is wonderful. So you've got this really sort of, I wouldn't say it's original. We've seen these kind of dystopian visions before, but the fact that it creates such an emotional punch is testament to Hanks, who can still do no wrong, and is great for Landry, who had a lot of buzz this year for his role in the Australian film Nitram, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but that had nothing to do with him. They're both terrific in this film. So I'm really glad that Finch has emerged as a quality contender across all of the award fronts.
Now, she's had her first appearance in the Marvel Universe, and that is Florence Pugh. She's been nominated as well for Best Actor.
This was such a huge surprise for me. She is wonderful in the film. She's really the heart and soul of the film. Florence Pugh is coming off just a few years now of just amazing work. Little Women, Midsummer. What was the one she did? The Fighting with My Family, which was a film that we noticed her in first and foremost when she played the wrestler at odds with what her family wanted to do. A wonderful little British film. So she is a real screen presence. It's great to see her in there because as strong as Scarlett Johansson is as the lead character, it's really Florence Pugh that brings out the emotional center of that film.
Now, something you just saw recently, I think, was Roland Emmerich's latest, Moonfall.
Oh, boy.
What are your thoughts on this big film?
Oh, it's a big film, all right. Look, Roland Emmerich is a filmmaker with, all the way back to Independence Day, Godzilla, 2012, even 10,000 BC. They're all movies. I've always found with Roland Emmerich films, he at least gives you half a good movie. He builds up to this really sort of crescendo at the midpoint, that, like in Independence Day, it was certainly in Godzilla. And then he tries to sort of bring it all together in the back half of the film, and that very rarely works. And they sort of, it gives into the dopiness of a lot of their premise. With Moonfall, he kind of reverses that. The first half of the film is quite talky and a little bit silly, and you're kind of waiting for it to take flight, pardon the pun. And then in the second half of the film, when the three astronauts head off to outer space and visit the moon to sort of recorrect its trajectory, I got to say, I had a ball. There is a point in the movie where, as a film critic, I've got to say, okay, I'm going to really rip into all the things that are terrible about this film, or I'm going to just lay back and enjoy it. And I decided to go with the laying back, and I got to say, I had a blast with Moonfall. No, it's not going to get any Oscar nominations or anything like that, but you know, you got Halle Berry in there giving one of the great paycheck performances. You got Patrick Wilson having a great time as well. Gee, I wish I could remember the actor's name. The chubby nerd who plays the chubby nerd, but he's very good in that part as well.
So you could say that if it does anything well, it's well at being a Roland Emmerich film.
That's exactly what it is. It's very Emmerich-y. It's Emmerich at its in its finest pedigree.
So the Batman is something that a lot of people are waiting for.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
There's a groundswell of excitement about it because Matt Reeves is directing, and he did the fantastic Planet of the Apes films and Cloverfield all the way back, so he knows how to do genre work really well. It's Robert Pattinson, who sort of prides himself on doing good work. Both he and Kristen Stewart left behind the Twilight franchise when they could have, capitalized on that and just become huge stars in every bit of studio work that was offered to them. Both of them went off and did independent work. So we're hopeful that Robert Pattinson will bring an independent sort of mindset, a point of difference to the Batman character. Do we need to see another Batman origin story? Do we need to see the parents being shot in the alleyway and all that sort of stuff? I don't know if we do, and I don't know if Reeves is going to do that at it's coming in at 178 minutes or something. So they probably will cover all elements of the origin story. But every generation needs their new Batman.
Now, a film that's coming up very soon on February 11 is Bigbug by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. And can you tell us a bit about his work with SciFi in this one?
He's a hero of mine. His French fantasy films, Amélie, City of Lost Children, Delicatessen in particular, these were really dark, disturbing fantasy visions that were just an integral part of me falling in love with movies. So in this new one, from what I can gather, I haven't seen it yet, but a group of domestic robots have to protect their human keepers from a machine uprising that's happening in the world. So it looks very funny. In typical Jean-Pierre Jeunet style, it looks very stylish. It looks like a beautiful looking film. It's gone to Netflix, so it's bypassing the cinemas, and very often the best part of a Jean-Pierre Jeunet film, see, we all thought it was going to be you that got it wrong, is seeing it on the big screen. But yeah, I'm very excited about Bigbug.
I'm also excited about a latest addition to the Predator franchise, which is called Prey.
Yeah, I know. There was a trailer released for this late last year, and it is kind of an origin story for the Predator franchise. And I can't recall who directed it, but it all takes place 300 years ago in Midwest America, in the middle of a Comanche nation, the Comanche Nation population, and it is about a female warrior who comes across a predator, the first predator to come to Earth. The trailer looks spectacular, very moody, very atmospheric. More word of that is going to start filtering through, but I'm very excited about Prey.
Well, thank you so much for joining us once again, and we look forward to your next visit.
Oh, I can't wait to be back. Thank you, mate. You guys do amazing work here.
And that was the week in sci-fi. For more news and to vote in this week's awards category, head to ionsci-fi.com.